Welcome to our Year 4 Homework 17 walkthrough. We're going to take our time and make sure we really understand each question. Question 1. So the question asks, based on the way it's explained in the passage, which of these is not an example of something organic? Option A, wood. Option B, plastic. Option C, cockroaches. Option D, potato chips. The correct answer here is letter B, plastic. Now, why is that? Well, the explanation tells us that plastic doesn't come from anything that was ever alive. Organic things come from living organisms, or were once alive. Wood comes from trees, cockroaches are living things, and potato chips are made from potatoes, which are plants. So plastic is the odd one out here. Question 2. All right, let's move on. This question says, according to the passage, air fresheners that use oxidizing chemicals, option A, are the best choice for fighting pet odors. Option B, might be dangerous for people with asthma or allergies. Option C, cover up the bad smell instead of getting rid of it. Option D, can be more effective than opening a window. And the correct answer is letter A. These types of air fresheners remove bad smells rather than just covering them up. That makes them great for strong odors, like pet smells. Question 3. This one is about vocabulary. It asks, as used in paragraph 5, the word eliminate most nearly means option A, forget. Option B, carry across. Option C, hide. Option D, get rid of. The correct answer is letter D, get rid of. When we eliminate something, we are getting rid of it completely, not just hiding it or forgetting it. Question 4. Okay, next up. According to the passage, how are air fresheners in laundry detergent and other cleaning products different from sprays or candles? Option A. Air fresheners and sprays or candles have very strong smells. Air fresheners and laundry detergent are lighter and less overpowering. Option B. Air fresheners and sprays or candles can be dangerous for people with asthma. Air fresheners and laundry detergents are usually safer for them to use. Option C. Air fresheners and laundry detergent have an effect on your body. Sprays or candles only affect the air in the room itself. Option D. Air fresheners and laundry detergent actually clean the air. Air fresheners from sprays or candles only cover up bad smells. The correct answer here is C. The explanation tells us that certain air fresheners and cleaning products change how you smell things, stopping your brain from noticing bad odors, while the others just change the smell of the air around you. Question 5. This question introduces an argument about road widening. The question says, the author of the argument for the road widening argues that the roads should be widened because this will, option A, increase the speed of traffic moving within Sheffield. Option B, boost the amount of time it takes to travel through Sheffield. Option C, improve the economic condition of businesses in Sheffield. Option D, decrease the number of traffic accidents in Sheffield. The answer is C. The argument suggests that wider roads will bring more customers to local businesses, improving their economic success. Question 6. This question builds on the previous one. It asks, as used in the argument for the road widening, the author writes, widening the roads will alleviate this problem. Which of the following also describes something that is alleviated? Option A, Joanna suffers a painful burn. After she puts medicine on it, the pain is reduced. Option B, the weight of the water pushes against the dam. A crack forms, and the dam eventually breaks. Option C, as the sun rises, its heat penetrates the thatched roof of the mud hut. The people inside begin to sweat. Option D, after spending months inside the tight cocoon, the beautiful butterfly finally emerges. The correct answer is A. To alleviate means to make something less severe or less painful, like reducing the pain of a burn with medicine. Question 7. All right, getting closer to the end. Which of the following, if true, would strengthen the argument for the road widening? Option A. A survey shows that a high percentage of drivers who pass through Sheffield stop to visit a local business. Option B. Researchers find that widening the roads will have little effect on the flow of traffic through Sheffield. Option C. A high percentage of drivers report that the width of the roads in Sheffield does not play a role in their decision to detour around it. Option D. A later study finds that, in actuality, 38% of all drivers purposefully detour around Sheffield instead of passing through it. The correct answer is A. This piece of information directly supports the idea that more drivers will help the businesses in Sheffield. Question 8. This question asks, based on information in the argument for the road widening, it can be understood that an opinion is option A, not supported by scientific data. Option B, not included in scientific literature. Option C, never useful in problem solving. Option D, never believed to be true. The answer is B. The passage explains that opinions are not found in scientific studies, meaning they aren't based on scientific research. Question 9. Now we are looking for the best antonym for prosperity. The question asks, as used in the argument for the road widening, which is the best antonym for prosperity? Option A, evil. Option B, poverty. Option C, stupidity. Option D, success. The correct answer is B. Prosperity means wealth or success, so its opposite is poverty, which is lacking resources. Question 10. Last question. Based on information in the argument against the road widening, Sheffield Council can best be described as I nigh, peaceful, UI, unsafe, 3, crowded. Option A, I only. Option B, I and 2 only. Option C, 2 and 3 only. Option D, I, 2 and 3. The correct answer here is A. The passage only describes Sheffield as peaceful, not unsafe or crowded. Question 11. So the question is, which sentence from the passage best sums up why the author doesn't want the roads to be widened? Option A, Sheffield Council roads should not be widened. Option B, Sheffield is a place where children play outdoors free from danger. Option C, cars will make loud noises throughout the night. Option D, Sheffield will no longer be the council we all know and love. The correct answer here is option D. Let me explain why. The main argument in the passage is that widening the roads would change Sheffield for the worse. Option D captures this idea because it says that Sheffield won't be the same peaceful and friendly place that we are used to if the roads are made bigger. Question 12. Now let's talk about bicycles. How is the Dracienne different from the other bicycles in the text? Option A. This bicycle has multiple pedals. It is also automatic. Option B. This bicycle did not have pedals. Riders pushed with their feet to make it move. Option C. This bicycle is two-seater. Option D. No difference at all. The correct answer is option B. The Dracienne, which was invented a long time ago in 1816, didn't have pedals at all. Instead of pedaling, riders had to push themselves along the ground with their feet. That's quite different from how we ride bikes today. Question 13. What do today's bicycles have that the older bicycles did not? How does this make riding easier? Option A. Today's bicycles have automatic motors. That way, bikers don't have to pedal that much. Option B. Today's bicycles have a sidecar so that multiple people can ride it. Option C. Today's bicycles have aesthetic designs. Option D. Today's bicycles have a system of gears. Gears make it easier to go faster and climb steep hills. The right answer is option D. Modern bicycles have gears, and those gears help you go faster and climb hills more easily. This was a feature that the early bicycles didn't have, which made them much harder to ride, especially on hills or when trying to go fast. Question 14. How is the text organized? Does this make it easier or harder to read and understand? Option A. The text is organized in the order the bicycles were invented. This makes it easier to read because you know which came first, then next. You do not have to try to figure out the order. Option B. The text is organized in the order of the bicycle sizes. It's easier to understand because readers will know which bicycle suits their age. Option C. The text is organized in the order of the bicycle's expansiveness. It's easier to understand because readers will know which bicycle suits their budget. Option D. No difference at all. Option A is the correct one. The text is organized in the order that the bicycles were invented. This makes it easier to read because it follows a timeline, so you can see how bikes evolved from the very first models to modern designs. This way you don't need to guess which came first, it is already organized for you. Question 15. The penny farthing was not very safe to ride. Why do you think this was true? Option A. The rider sat very low, so riders might run into things and fall off. Option B. The rider sat very high up. Riders could hurt themselves because they could not reach the brakes. Option C. The rider sat very low. Riders could hurt themselves if they fell off the bike. The bike did not have brakes, so riders might run into things and fall off. Option D. The rider sat very high up. Riders could hurt themselves if they fell off the bike. The bike did not have brakes, so riders might run into things and fall off. The correct answer is option D. The penny farthing was a very tall bike. Because the seat was so high, riders were at risk of falling from a great height, and because they didn't have any brakes, it was very dangerous if they needed to stop quickly. Question 16. Which of the following is the correct timeline of the history of bicycles? I. Penny farthing. I. John Kemp Starley design. 3. Dreizehns. IV. Velocipede. Option A, I, 2-3, IV. Option B, 2-3, IVI. Option C, 3IV, I2. Option D, IV, 3-2, I. The right answer here is C. The very first bicycle we talked about in the text was the Dreizehns. Then came the Velocipede, followed by the Penny farthing, and finally the John Kemp Starley design, which is the most similar to the bicycles we see today. Question 17. Now we're switching gears to some grammar questions. I went to bed very late, I am tired today. Option A, for. Option B, and. Option C, nor. Option D, but. Option E, or. Option F, yet. Option G, so. The correct answer is option G, so. The word so shows a cause and effect. Because I went to bed late, the result is that I am tired today. Question 18. I listened to the weather forecast Put an umbrella in my bag. Option A, for. Option B, and. Option C, nor. Option D, but. Option E, or. Option F, yet. Option G, so. The correct answer is option B, and. The word and connects two actions that happened one after the other. I listened to the weather forecast and then, because of that, put an umbrella in my bag. Question 19. I enjoy playing hockey It's not my favorite sport. Option A, for. Option B, and. Option C, nor. Option D, but. Option E, or. Option F, yet. Option G, so. The answer here is option D, but. The word but is used to show a contrast, meaning that there is a difference or something unexpected. I enjoy playing hockey, but unexpectedly, it's not my favorite sport. Question 20. We could go to this park to the cinema. Option A, for. Option B, and. Option C, nor. Option D, but. Option E, or. Option F, yet. Option G, so. The correct answer is option E, or. The word or presents a choice between two options. We could go to the park or we could go to the cinema. It's one or the other. Question 21. My dad has fixed my bike I can take it to the park. Option A, although. Option B, because. Option C, so that. Option D, even if. Option E, whenever. The answer here is option C, so that. The words so that shows a purpose for the action that came before it. My dad fixed the bike for the purpose of me being able to take it to the park. 22. Question 22. My brother is grumpy He has got to do his homework. Option A, although. Option B, because. Option C, so that. Option D, even if. Option E, whenever. The correct answer is letter E, whenever. Explanation. The word whenever means each and every time, or every instance when something happens. So the sentence is saying that each and every time the brother has homework, he becomes grumpy. This choice of word shows the connection, or cause and effect, between having homework and being grumpy. It's like saying every time my brother has homework, he gets grumpy. Now let's move on to question 23. I will always support my local team, they always lose. Option A, although. Option B, because. Option C, so that. Option D, even if. Option E, whenever. The correct answer here is letter D, even if. Explanation. The phrase even if is used to show a contrast, like when something is true despite another thing that might make it seem untrue. In this case, the speaker is saying they will always support their team, even though the team loses all the time. It's like saying, I'll still support them no matter what. Next up is question 24. He goes abroad on holiday He doesn't like flying. Option A, although. Option B, because. Option C, so that. Option D, even if. Option E, whenever. The correct answer is letter A, although. Explanation. The word although is used to show that two things are contrasting or unexpected in the same sentence. Here, the person goes abroad for holidays, but it's unexpected because they don't like flying. It's like saying, despite not liking flying, he still travels for holidays. Okay, let's go to question 25. I'm not sure, underscore, 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 underscore. I'm going to the match, underscore, 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 year, not. Option A, whether or. Option B, either or. Option C, both/and. Option D, not only/but. The correct answer is letter A, whether or. Explanation. The phrase whether or is used when you have two options and you are not sure which one to pick. The sentence means that the person is not sure if they will go or not go to the match, so it's showing the uncertainty between these two choices. Let's go on to question 26. My mom is underscore, 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 a brilliant doctor, underscore, 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 underscore. She is a great runner too. Option A, whether or. Option B, either or. Option C, both/and. Option D, not only/but. The correct answer is letter D, not only/but. Explanation. The phrase not only/but is used to show that someone is good at two impressive things. It is a way to emphasize both of the good things about the person. Here it's saying that the mom is not only a brilliant doctor but also a great runner. Okay, next, question 27. The weather is forecast to be underscore, 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 underscore hot, underscore, underscore, underscore humid. Option A, whether or. Option B, either or. Option C, both/and. Option D, not only/but. The correct answer is letter C, both/and. Explanation. The phrase both and is used to say that two things will happen together. So the sentence means the weather will be hot and also humid. All right, let's move on to question 28. We are having underscore, 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 pasta, underscore, 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 curry for dinner. Option A, whether or. Option B, either or. Option C, both/and. Option D, not only/but. The correct answer is letter B, either/or. Explanation. The phrase either or is used when there is a choice between two options. Here, it means that you can have pasta or curry, but not both for dinner. Okay, we are now moving on to a different set of questions, so let's start with question 29. Once upon a time, there lived a underscore, 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 and queen who had no children. Option A, 15th. Option B, 100. Option C, asleep. Option D, despair. Option E, king. Option F, laughed. Option G, 12. Option H, curious. Option I, delighted. Option J, misfortune. Option K, past. Option L, terrified. Option M, knocking. Option N, invited. The correct answer is letter E, king. Explanation. We're starting a story about a royal family, so the word king fits best in the sentence, referring to the king and queen. Let's move to question 30. They longed very much for a child, and when at last they had a little daughter, they were both underscore, 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 and great rejoicings took place. Option A, 15th. Option B, 100. Option C, asleep. Option D, despair. Option E, king. Option F, laughed. Option G, 12. Option H, curious. Option I, delighted. Option J, misfortune. Option K, past. Option L, terrified. Option M, knocking. Option N, invited. The correct answer is letter I, delighted. Explanation. The word delighted means very happy or joyful. Since the king and queen really wanted a child, they would feel super delighted when their daughter was born. And last but not least, question 31. When the time came for the little princess to be christened, the king made a grand feast, and underscore, 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 all but one of the fairies in his kingdom to be godmothers. Option A, 15th. Option B, 100. Option C, asleep. Option D, despair. Option E, king. Option F, laughed. Option G, 12. Option H, curious. Option I, delighted. Option J, misfortune. Option K, past. Option L, terrified. Option M, knocking. Option N, invited. The correct answer is letter N, invited. Explanation. The king made a big party and invited all but one fairy to be godmothers, which means he asked them to come and be a part of the event. 32. Question 32. The blank fairies that were invited came to the christening, and they presented the little princess with the best gifts they had. Okay, let's look at our options. We have 15th, 100, asleep, despair, king, laughed, 12, curious, delighted, misfortune, past, terrified, knocking, and invited. Now thinking about the story, we know that there were a number of fairies who came to the christening. Which of these words makes the most sense in the sentence? The correct answer is letter G, 12. The story mentions that there were 13 fairies in the kingdom, but the king only had 12 gold plates, meaning he could only invite 12 of them to the christening. Question 33. Just as the last fairy was about to step forward and offer her gift, there came a tremendous blank at the door. Looking at our options again, which word fits best to describe a sudden loud noise at the door? The correct answer is letter M, knocking. A knocking is a sound made when someone is hitting the door, which makes sense with the sentence. Question 34. When she saw all the gifts which the other fairies had presented to the child, she blank and exclaimed. So what did the last fairy do when she saw all the gifts? Let's look at our options. The correct answer is letter F, laughed. This shows that she thought something was funny when she saw the gifts, which is why she exclaimed something afterward. Question 35. Then, turning to the blank king and queen, she said in a loud voice, "Now how do you think the king and queen might be feeling now that the last fairy is speaking?" Take a look at our options. The correct answer here is letter L, terrified. The king and queen would be terrified because of the last fairy's actions, which means that they are scared of what she's going to say. Question 36. The king and queen were in blank, and the courtiers stood aghast at the terrible disaster. So, if the king and queen are terrified, how would they feel about the disaster? The correct answer is letter D, despair. The word despair means they were feeling very hopeless. Question 37. The princess, on her blank birthday, shall prick her finger with a spindle, but she shall not die. The story says that this event will happen on a special birthday. Which number from our options makes sense? The correct answer is letter A, 15th. The princess will prick her finger on her 15th birthday. Question 38. Instead, she shall fall blank for 100 years. What does the fairy say will happen to the princess after she pricks her finger? The correct answer is letter C, asleep. The princess will fall asleep for a very long time. Question 39. Alas, cried the queen, what comfort will that be to us? Long before the blank years are past, we shall be dead. Here, the queen is worried about how long the princess will sleep. Which word from our options completes the sentence? The correct answer is letter B, 100. The queen is worried because 100 years is a very long time. Question 40. When the princess falls asleep, you shall sleep too, and awaken with her when the 100 years are blank. Now, what word from our options can we use to finish this sentence about the 100 years? The correct answer is letter K, past. The sentence means that the 100 years will have finished passing when the princess wakes up. Question 41. But the king still hoped to save his daughter from such a terrible blank. The king wants to protect his daughter from what? Which word fits from our options? The correct answer is letter J, misfortune. Misfortune is another way to say bad luck or a tragedy, and that is what the king is trying to prevent. Question 42. From a room at the top came a blank humming noise. So what kind of humming noise did the princess hear that made her curious? The correct answer is letter H, curious. The humming sound made her very curious. Okay, now we're moving on to spelling. Question 43. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is payable. This is because payable is the correct spelling of this word, and the suffix able is used when the root word, pay, forms a complete word. Question 44. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is durable. This is because durable is the correct spelling, and the suffix able is used because durable comes from durare, which means to last. Question 45. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is compatible. This is because compatible is the correct spelling, because the root word does not form a complete word on its own. So, aceable is used instead of aceable. Question 46. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is divisible. This is because divisible is correct, and the root word divide drops the silent E before adding insatiable. Question 47. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is permissible. This is because permissible is correct, because the root word permit does not form a complete word, so equivocable is used. Question 48. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is adaptable. This is because adaptable is correct, because the root word adapt is a complete word, so able is used. Question 49. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is convertible. This is because convertible is correct, because convert does not form a complete word when able is added, so able is used. Question 50. Circle the correctly spelled word. The answer is debatable. This is because debatable is correct, because debate is a complete word before adding able. Question 51. Circle the decimal that shows 50%. We have three options. Option A is 0.5, option B is 5.0, and option C is 1.5. The correct answer here is letter A, which is 0.5. Now let's think about why. 50% means 50 out of 100, right? And when we write 50 out of 100 as a decimal, it becomes 0.5. So 50% is equal to 0.5. Question 52. Circle the decimal that shows 10%. The options are option A is 1.0, option B is 0.1, and option C is 0.01. The right answer is option B, 0.1. And here's why. 10% is like saying 10 out of 100. When we write that as a decimal, it's 0.1. So 10% is the same as 0.1. Question 53. Circle the decimal that shows 25%. Your options are option A is 2.5, option B is 5.2, and option C is 0.25. The correct answer is C, 0.25. Thinking about it, 25% means 25 out of 100, and that's written as 0. 25 in decimal form. Question 54. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.05. We've got option A as 0.5%, option B as 5%, and option C as 50%. The correct answer here is B, which is 5%. So how do we go from a decimal to a percentage? Well, we multiply by 100. So 0.05 times 100 equals 5, meaning 0.05 is equal to 5%. Question 55. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.8. The choices are option A is 0.8%, option B is 8%, and option C is 80%. The correct answer is C, 80%. Remember, to turn a decimal into a percent, we multiply it by 100. So 0.8 times 100 is 80, which means 0.8 is equal to 80%. Question 56. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.06. Our options are option A is 6%, option B is 60%, and option C is 0.6%. The right answer is A, 6%. Multiplying 0.06 by 100 gives us 6, so 0.06 equals 6%. Question 57. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.1. We have option A as 0.1%, option B as 1%, and option C as 10%. The correct answer is C, which is 10%. So 0.1 multiplied by 100 equals 10. This is why 0.1 is equal to 10%. Question 58. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.01. Our options are option A is 0.1%, option B is 1%, and option C is 10%. The correct answer is B, 1%. If we take 0.01 and multiply it by 100, we get 1, so 0.01 is the same as 1%. Question 59. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.25. Option A is 25%, option B is 5.2%, and option C is 2.5%. The correct answer is A, which is 25%. When we multiply 0.25 by 100, it equals 25. So 0.25 is the same as 25%. Question 60. Circle the percentage equivalent of 0.08. Here are the options. Option A is 0.8%, option B is 8%, and option C is 80%. The correct answer is B, 8%. Because if you multiply 0.08 by 100, you get 8, making 0.08 equal to 8%. Question 61. A balloon seller had 100 balloons to sell at the fair. Of these balloons, 42 were blue, 14 were red, and the rest were yellow. What percentage of the balloons were yellow? Option A is 44%, option B is 43%, option C is 42%, and option D is 41%. The right answer is A, 44%. Let's see how we solve this. If there are 100 balloons in total, we add the blue and red balloons together, which is 42 plus 14 equals 56. Then, we subtract that from 100. 100 minus 56 equals 44. That means there are 44 yellow balloons, which makes 44% of the balloons yellow. Question 62. Figure out what percentage of the shape has been shaded in a darker color. Option A is 20%, option B is 15%, option C is 10%, and option D is 5%. The correct answer is D, 5%. Assuming there is a visual here, the shaded part takes a small section, which means that 5% of the shape is shaded. Question 63. Figure out what percentage of the shape has been shaded in a darker color. Option A is 80%, option B is 85%, option C is 70%, and option D is 75%. The correct answer is A, 80%. Assuming there is a visual here, the shaded part is taking up a large portion, which means 80% of the shape is shaded. Question 64. Figure out what percentage of the shape has been shaded in a darker color. Option A is 25%, option B is 50%, option C is 75%, and option D is 100%. The correct answer here is B, 50%. Assuming there is a visual here, half of the shape is shaded, so that's 50%. Question 65 to 60% of 900. Option A is 540, option B is 560, and option C is 580. The right answer is A, which is 540. To find 60% of 900, we multiply 900 by 0.6, and that equals 540. So 60% of 900 is 540. Number 66. Question 66. What is 35% of 300? Your options are A, 105, B, 110, or C, 115. The correct answer is A, 105, was. Now, how did we get that? Well, to find 35% of 300, we multiply 300 by 0.35. And when you do that, 300 times 0.35, you get 105. Question 67. What is 60% of 120? Your options are A, 70, B, 71, or C, 72. The correct answer is C, 72. To find this, we multiply 120 by 0.60. If you do that calculation, 120 multiplied by 0.6, you will find it equals 72. Question 68. What is 90% of 400? Is it A, 360, B, 340, or C, 320? The correct answer is A, 360. To work this out, we need to multiply 400 by 0.9. When we do that, 400 times 0.9, we get 360. Question 69. What is 25% of 520? The options are A, 110, B, 120, or C, 130. The correct answer is C, 130. We calculate this by multiplying 520 by 0.25. So 520 times 0.25 equals 130. Question 70. What is 35% of 260? Is it A, 90, B, 91, or C, 92? The correct answer is B, 91. To find this, we multiply 260 by 0.35. If you multiply 260 by 0.35, you get 91. Question 71. What is 95% of 600? Your choices are 570, B, 550, or C, 530. The correct answer is A, 570. We get this answer by multiplying 600 by 0.95, and that equals 570. Question 72. A store is marking up its stock with new prices. Can you figure out 75% of $35? The options are A, $26.25, B, $27.25, C, $26.50, or D, $27.50. The correct answer is A, $26.25. This means that 75% of $35 is calculated by multiplying 35 by 0.75, which gives us $26.25. Question 73. Again, a store is marking up its stock with new prices. This time, figure out 75% of $20. Is it A, $30, B, $25, C, $20, or D, $15? The correct answer is D, $15. To calculate this, we multiply 20 by 0.75, and that equals 15. Question 74. Now let's convert 3/10 to a percentage. Is it 20%, 25%, or 30%? The correct answer is 30%. To convert a fraction to a percentage, we divide the numerator, which is 3, by the denominator, which is 10. This gives us 0.3. Then we multiply by 100, which equals 30%. Question 75. Next, convert 76/100ths to a percentage. Is it 74%, 76%, or 78%? The correct answer is 76%. Since the fraction already has a denominator of 100, the percentage is simply the numerator, which is 76%. Question 76. Let's convert 1/4 to a percentage. Is it 20%, 25%, or 30%? The correct answer is 25%. To convert 1/4 to a percentage, we divide 1 by 4, which equals 0.25. Then multiply by 100, which equals 25%. Question 77. Now convert 8/10 to a percentage. Is it 80%, 83%, or 85%? The correct answer is 80%. To find this, we divide 8 by 10, which equals 0.8. Then we multiply by 100 to get 80%. Question 78. Next up, convert 9/100ths to a percentage. Is it 7%, 8%, or 9%? The correct answer is 9%. When a fraction has a denominator of 100, the numerator is the percentage, so in this case, it's simply 9%. Question 79. Now we need to find the equivalent fraction or decimal of 17%. Is it 17/100ths, 7/100, or 70/100ths? The correct answer is 17/100ths. This is because 17% is the same as the fraction 17/100. Question 80. Find the equivalent fraction or decimal of 40%. Is it 0.20, 0.40, or 0.60? The correct answer is 0.40. We get this by dividing 40 by 100, which equals 0.40. Question 81. What is the equivalent fraction or decimal of 83%? Is it 81/100ths, 82/100, or 83/100ths? The correct answer is 83/100ths. 83% is the same as the fraction 83/100. Question 82. Find the equivalent fraction or decimal of 5%. Is it 0.50, 0.05, or 0.005? The correct answer is 0.05. We find this by dividing 5 by 100, which equals 0.05. Question 83. What is the equivalent fraction or decimal of 51%? Is it 0.51, 0.15, or 0.051? The correct answer is 0.51. This is because 51 divided by 100 equals 0.51. Question 84. Let's work out 10% of 250. Is it 15, 20, or 25? The correct answer is 25. We find this by multiplying 250 by 0.1, which equals 25. Question 85. Finally, work out 20% of 70. Is it 14, 21, or 28? The correct answer is 14. To get this, we multiply 70 by 0.2, and that equals 14. 86. Question 86. What is 50% of 300? Is it 115, 150, or 25? The correct answer is 150. Here's how we find that out. When we want to find 50% of a number, we're really finding half of that number. You can also think of it as multiplying the number by 0.5. So 300 multiplied by 0.5 equals 150. Question 87. Let's try another one. What is 40% of 120? Are the options 48, 46, or 44? The correct answer is 48. To find 40% of 120, we multiply 120 by 0.4, which gives us 48. Question 88. Now let's move on to some code breaking. We need to find the code for the word WIND. We have four options. Option A, 5,164. Option B, 5,146. Option C, 5,264. Or option D, 5,246. The correct answer is option B, 5,146. Here is the explanation. From the previous questions, we know that seen is 2,354 and dine is 6,143. So W is 5, I is 1, N is 4, and D is 6. If we use the same letter to number pattern, the word win translates to 5,146. Question 89. Okay, let's try another code. Find the code for the word NEWS. Here are the options. Option A, 4,532. Option B, 4,325. Option C, 4,352. And option D, 4,523. The correct answer is option C, 4,352. Using the same letter to number pattern, we know that N is 4, E is 3, W is 5, and S is 2. So the word NUWS is 4,352. Question 90, last one. This time we have the code, and we need to find the word. Find the word that has the number code 5143. The options are option A, wine, option B, 9, option C, sign, or option D, wise. The correct answer is option A, wine. If we use our code-breaking skills, the number 5,143 matches the word WINE. W is 5, I is 1, N is 4, and E is 3.
So now I'm going to be going through the answers to the MVR section of the homework. These MVR questions are all odd one out ones. So for this first one, the odd one out is C. This is because all of these are the same size triangle, bigger one, and then whereas C is a smaller one. Next question. Here, all of these have 2 black dots, whereas B has 1, 2, 3, 4. So B is the odd one out. Next question. Here, in each option, the 2 smaller shapes are always the same shape. So 2 pentagons, 2 circles, 2 semicircles, 2 of these other shapes. Whereas in C, it's the same kind of shape, but this one is smaller, whereas this one's bigger. But in all the other ones, they're the same size. So C is the odd one out. Next question. Here, in these triangles, the lines go like this, and in B and D, if you made those vertical, they would also go in this direction, whereas in E, the lines are in that direction, so the opposite direction. So E is the odd one out. Next question. So in each of these, there's 3, the rectangle is split into 3 sections, 3, 3, 3, 3, but E is split into 4, so E is the odd one out. Next question. Here, the square in the middle is never intersected by the lines, whereas in B, the lines do go through the square, so B is the odd one out. Next question. So the pattern here is to do with the number of crosses and the number of squares. So here there's 4 crosses, 3 squares, 3 crosses, 2 squares, 2 crosses, 1 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 crosses, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 squares. And here there's 2 crosses and 3 squares. So as you can see, in A to D, there's always 1 less square than there is crosses, whereas in E, it's the other way around. There's 1 more square than there is crosses. So E is the odd one out. Next question. Here, all these arrow kind of shapes are pointing up, but in D it's pointing down, so D is the odd one out. In the next question, the odd one out here is A. The reason why is because it's, so if you look at A and C, A is a mirror image of C due to like this being the reflection. So, and the rest B, D and E are all the same as C, just rotated in different ways, whereas A is the flip of them. So A is a flipped version of the rest of them. So A is the odd one out. So like if you imagine A rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise, it would look different to all the rest of the options, whereas B, C, D and E are all the same in the same direction, just different at different points going clockwise or anti-clockwise, whereas A is just the flipped version of it, so it's the opposite. In this last question, it's a bit hard to see because the lines are kind of blurry, but it's to do with the number of lines. So I'll just try and zoom in. So here, I'll use a smaller pen as well. Here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a line here as well, 6. So 6 lines there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, wait, that was 5 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 lines at the top and 4 lines at the bottom. Here there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And here there's 1, 2, 3. Here there's 1, 2. And here there's 1, 2. Here there's 1, 2. And here there's 1. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the odd one out here is C, because all the rest have one less line at the bottom than the number of lines in the square. As you can see, 5 and 4, 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and 3 and 2. Whereas in C, it's 2 lines in the square and 2 lines at the bottom of the shape. So it's equal amounts, so it's the odd one out.
101. You need to write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or imble, and an X mark if it's not. The word is definable. The answer is an X mark. The explanation is that the correct spelling is definable, because define is already a complete word before we add the able. Question 102. Again, write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or able, and an X mark if it's not. The word is lovable. The answer is a check mark. Lovable is correct in UK spelling. British English keeps the E in words like lovable and sizable. Question 103. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or able, and an X mark if it's not. The word is sizable. The answer is a check mark. Sizable is spelled correctly because size is a complete word before adding able. Question 104. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or Xable, and an X mark if it's not. The word is knowledgeable. The answer is an X mark. The correct spelling is knowledgeable because knowledge is a complete word before adding able. Question 105. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or able, and an X mark if it's not. The word is measurable. The answer is a check mark. Measurable is spelled correctly because measure is a complete word before adding able. Question 106. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or irable, and an X mark if it's not. The word is arguable. The answer is an X mark. The correct spelling is arguable because argue is a complete word before adding able. Question 107. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or intable, and an X mark if it's not. The word is affordable. The answer is a check mark. Affordable is spelled correctly because afford is a complete word before adding able. Question 108. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or itchable, and an X mark if it's not. The word is bearable. The answer is an X mark. The correct spelling is bearable because bear is a complete word before adding able. Question 109. Write a check mark if the word is spelled correctly using either able or ingable, and an X mark if it's not. The word is likable. The answer is a check mark. Likable is correct in UK spelling, just like lovable. British English keeps the E. Question 110. Now we're going to match fractions with their equivalent percentages. The first one is 50 over 100. The answer is 50%. This is because 50 over 100, when multiplied by 100, equals 50%. Question 111. Match 3 over 4 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 75%, because 3 over 4 multiplied by 100 is 75%. Question 112. Match 1 over 5 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 20%, because 1 over 5 multiplied by 100 is 20%. Question 113. Match 100 over 100 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 100%, because 100 over 100 multiplied by 100 is 100%. Question 114. Match 32 over 100 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 32%, because 32 over 100 multiplied by 100 is 32%. Question 115. Match 1 over 4 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 25%, because 1 over 4 multiplied by 100 is 25%. Question 116. Match 15 over 100 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 15%, because 15 over 100 multiplied by 100 is 15%. Question 117. Match 79 over 100 with its equivalent percentage. The answer is 79%, because 79 over 100 multiplied by 100 is 79%. Question 118. Now, for our last question, give the decimal or percentage equivalent of 75%. Option A is 0.75, option B is 0.075, and option C is 7.5. The correct answer is letter A, 0. 75. This is because 75% is the same as 75 divided by 100, which equals 0.75. Question 119. We need to find the decimal or percentage that's the same as 2%. So we have three choices. Option A is 0.2, option B is 2.0, and option C is 0.02. The correct answer is option C, which is 0.02. Now let's talk about why. When we say 2%, what we really mean is 2 out of 100. To turn that into a decimal, we divide 2 by 100. And when you do that, you get 0.02. Question 120. This time, we're going the other way. We have the decimal 0.75, and we need to find the matching percentage. The options are A is 7.5%, B is 75%, and C is 0.7%. The correct answer here is B, 75%. So how did we get that? Well, to change a decimal into a percentage, we multiply by 100. And if you multiply 0.75 by 100, you get 75%. Question 121. Okay, next up, we have the decimal 0.9. What's the percentage equivalent? Your choices are A is 0.9%, B is 9%, and C is 90%. The right answer is C, 90%. Remember, to turn a decimal into a percentage, we multiply by 100. So 0.9 times 100 equals 90%. Question 122. Let's do another one. Here we have 0.09, and we need to find the percentage. The options are A is 0.9%, B is 9%, and C is 90%. The correct answer this time is B, 9%. Just like before, we multiply 0.09 by 100 to get the percentage, and that gives us 9%. Question 123. Now we have 0.6. We need to find the equivalent percentage. The choices are A is 0.6%, B is 6%, and C is 60%. The correct answer here is C, 60%. As always, we multiply the decimal by 100 to find the percentage. And 0.6 times 100 is 60%. Question 124. Now we're switching gears a bit. We're going to find 10% of 63 pounds. Your options are 6 pounds and 30 pence, 60 pounds and 63 pence. The correct answer is 6 pounds and 30 pence. When we want to find 10% of something, we multiply by 0.1. So 63 pounds. 00 times 0.1 equals 6 pounds and 30 pence. Question 125. Let's try this again. What is 10% of 750 pounds? Your choices are 70 pounds, 75 pounds, and 7 pounds and 50 pence. The correct answer is 75 pounds. Again, to find 10%, we multiply by 0.1. So 750 pounds times 0.1 equals 75 pounds. Question 126. Now we need to find 10% of 950 pounds. Is it 90 pounds, 95 pounds, or 9 pounds and 50 pence? The correct answer is 95 pounds. We calculate this by multiplying 950 pounds by 0.1, which gives us 95 pounds. Question 127. What is 10% of 840 pounds? Is it 8 pounds, 86 pounds, or 84 pounds? The right answer is 84 pounds. We know this because 840 pounds multiplied by 0.1 is 84 pounds. Question 128. Let's find 10% of 35 pounds. Is it 3 pounds and 50 pence, 30 pounds, or 35 pence? The correct answer is 3 pounds and 50 pence. We multiply 35 pounds by 0.1, and that gives us 3 pounds and 50 pence. Question 129. Okay, now we're converting fractions to percentages. We have 65 over 100. Is that 60%, 65%, or 70%? The correct answer is 65%. When the fraction is over 100, the top number is the percentage. Question 130. Next, we have 83 over 100. What is that as a percentage? Is it 81%, 82%, or 83%? The answer is 83%. Just like before, since the fraction is over 100, the top number is the percentage. Question 131. Now we need to convert 1 over 10 to a percentage. Is that 10%, 11%, or 1%? The correct answer is 10%. To change a fraction to a percentage, you divide the top number by the bottom number and then multiply by 100. So 1 divided by 10 is 0.1, and 0.1 times 100 is 10%. Question 132. What is 27 over 100 as a percentage? Is it 23%, 25%, or 27%? The answer is 27%. When the fraction is over 100, the top number is the percentage. Question 133. What about 94 over 100? Is that 92%, 94%, or 96%? The correct answer is 94%. Because the fraction is out of 100, the top number is the percentage. Question 134. Now we have 3 over 5. What percentage is that? Is it 60%, 65%, or 70%? The correct answer is 60%. Divide 3 by 5, which gives you 0.6. Then multiply by 100, and that gives you 60%. Question 135. What is 31 over 100 as a percentage? Is it 31%, 32%, or 33%? The correct answer is 31%. When the fraction is out of 100, the top number is the percentage. Question 136. We're now finding the equivalent fraction or decimal of 20%. Is it 1 over 5, 1 over 6, or 1 over 7? The correct answer is 1 over 5. 20% means 20 out of 100, which simplifies to 1 over 5. Question 137. What is the equivalent fraction or decimal of 99%? Is it 0.90, 0.99, or 0.09? The correct answer is 0.99. 99% means 99 out of 100, which is 0.99 as a decimal. Question 138. Now let's find the fraction or decimal equivalent of 75%. Is it 1 over 4, 1 over 2, or 3 over 4? The correct answer is 3 over 4. 75% is 75 out of 100, which simplifies to 3 over 4. Question 139. Last one. We need to find the decimal equivalent of 24%. Is it 0.20, 0.24, or 2.40? The correct answer is 0.24. 24% is 24 out of 100, which is 0.24 as a decimal. 140. Question 140. We need to find the equivalent fraction or decimal for 90%. So think of it like this. Percent means out of 100. So 90% is the same as 90 out of 100, or 90 divided by 100. We can write this as a fraction, 90/100ths. Now we can simplify this fraction by dividing both the top and bottom by 10. This makes 9/10. So the correct answer is option A, which is 9/10. Question 141. Let's find the equivalent fraction or decimal for 67%. Remember, percent means out of 100. So 67% is the same as 67 divided by 100. As a decimal, 67 divided by 100 equals 0.67. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, which is 0.67. Question 142. Now we need to find the equivalent fraction or decimal for 2%. Again, percent means out of 100, so 2% is the same as 2 divided by 100, or 2/100. Now, we simplify that fraction by dividing both the top and bottom by 2. This gives us 1/50. So the correct answer is option A, which is 1/50. Question 143. This time we need to work out 25% of £3.60. To do this, we need to know that 25% as a decimal is 0.25. So we multiply £3.60 by 0.25. When you do that, you'll find that 3.60 multiplied by 0.25 is 90 pence. So the correct answer is 90 pence. Question 144. This question asks us to work out 90% of 50p. If we change 90% to a decimal, it's 0.9. So we multiply 50p by 0.9, which gives us 45p. Therefore, the correct answer is 45p. Question 145. Now, let's calculate 30% of £2.40. First, we need to change 30% to a decimal, which is 0.3. Then, we multiply £2.40 by 0.3, and that gives us 72 pence. So the correct answer is 72 pence. Question 146. Okay, now let's work out 10% of £62.50. To find 10% of something, we can simply multiply by 0.1. When we multiply £62.50 by 0.1, we get £6.25. So the correct answer is £6.25. Question 147. This question asks us to work out 60% of 800 meters. Change 60% to a decimal, which is 0. 6. Multiply 800 meters by 0.6, and we get 480 meters. So the correct answer is 480 meters. Question 148. Let's work out 75% of 10 centimeters. We can change 75% to a decimal, which is 0.75. So now we can multiply 10 centimeters by 0.75, which equals 7.5 centimeters. Therefore, the correct answer is 7.5 centimeters. Question 149. Now let's find 20% of 1 liter. First, we need to know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. Also, 20% as a decimal is 0.2. So we multiply 1,000 milliliters by 0.2, which is 200 milliliters. So the correct answer is 200 milliliters. Question 150. Here we need to find 80% of 600 grams. So let's change 80% to a decimal, that's 0.8. Now we multiply 600 grams by 0.8, which equals 480 grams. So the correct answer is 480 grams. Question 151. Now let's move on to some code breaking. In this question, we need to find the code for the word RAFT. Looking at the examples, we can see that F is represented by the number 4, A by 2, R by 3, and T by 6. So using the same logic, the code for RAFT is 3246. This makes option A the correct answer. Question 152. This time we need to find the code for the word fact. Using the codes we've been given, F is 4, A is 2, C is 1, and T is 6. So the code for FAQT is 4216. The correct answer is option B, 4216. Question 153. This time we need to find the word that has the number code 6523. Looking at the codes we have worked out, the number 6 represents T, 5 represents E, 2 represents A, and 3 represents R. So the word is TEAR. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, TEAR. Question 154. Now let's find the code for the word rate. We know that R is 5, A is 2, T is 1, and E is 6. So the code for RATE is 5216, which means the correct answer is option A. Question 155. Here we need to find the code for the word KRP. We know that C is 4, A is 2, R is 5, and P is 3. So the code for CARP is 4253. So the correct answer is option C. Question 156. Finally, let's find the word that has the number code 3241. From the other questions, we know that 3 is P, 2 is A, 4 is C, and 1 is T. So the word is PACT. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. And that is the end of our walkthrough.